Today is day 16, and we are going to talk about how, when you talk to somebody, like, we're talking about dating after divorce. So, in this situation, when you go back out there to meet somebody new, of course, it might be so that you're out on a date after, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, depending on how long you were married, how long you were with somebody, and then you got to a place where you feel like you're healed and now you are ready to date. But sometimes we don't always realize that it is still in our subconscious mind, and subconscious mind it is holding in the body than our conscious mind. So conscious mind says that you're ready, you're going out on a date, great, you're having a great time. Now, as you start talking about different things, all of a sudden you feel like over the edge for a simple thing. You're kind of disconnecting, and it's just feeling like, tense. Your body is getting tense. What that really is some sort of trauma that you had either from prior relationship or as you grew up in your life, it was never healed. So what happens is, think of this as like a trigger point, right? So we all have some triggers, and it's not that we can all be like fully like, healed. There won't be any trigger in life, then we'll be God. We're not. We are human beings. So there will be situations, but where you don't want to feel triggered is something that is really, really important to you. So I talk about, like, different people may have different priority. So if you have a priority, something like, I don't know, partying is not your thing. Let's say it's just not your thing, right? And if somebody is like, going out and partying with all their friends every Friday night, and that's not your thing, you rather like quality time, just both of you, like, I don't know, going out on a date night, whatever your version of, like, thing that is important to you. Speaking of that, you guys all should take the love language test. If you haven't heard of that, I tell all my clients and everybody, if you're back into the dating scene, take the love language test. It costs like $15 or so. It used to be free. So helpful, so helpful. John Gottman, Julie Gottman, they have been doing this research for 45 years, and they talk about it too. And I don't have any affiliation with them, but I am inspired, absolutely inspired with their work. So that's why I read and learn a lot about from their teaching, other teachings, and then I shared with you guys, not all from there, a lot of things that I learned over the 21 years being in a corporate leadership. Not from my early career, but later we're in leadership and all that. If you're interested, you can check out my LinkedIn. It's on my YouTube about page. Anyway, coming back to this topic. So what's important is to find out if that is happening in your body, and it's not about the other person. Everything is about you, right? Because we can change only ourselves. It is our responsibility to pick the right person so that our life again doesn't become a mess. So because whenever you are getting married, nobody is looking to get married thinking that they're going to get divorced, right? So things start happening and you grow apart, and at one point you grow apart so much that you can't come back together. That's what like, end up causing divorces. And it's not about when something happens, okay, it happened, then you have to accept the fact, you go through this grief, whatever cycle, all of that. I went through that. You can check my whole list on 2024 playlist, like, how year and a half ago when I lost my executive job and marriage at the same time. From there, I came to this unstoppable zone because I worked on myself every single day. And some of the tools I learned over the last 20 years, over 20 years. And in some way, I think that's probably why it was, much quicker, because I have seen people suffering through it for years. And, you don't want to spend your life being in that sad zone forever, because it's not benefiting anybody, not benefiting you. And if you have kids, especially for them, it's not good. So you want to have these tools for yourself, how you can bounce back quickly from point A to point B. Point B is where you're happy. Point A is where you're fearful, sad, angry, depressed, and all of that. There's no point sulking after a certain point, right? Because you got to move on. You got to enjoy your life. Anyway, coming back to the point. Sorry, I keep getting diverted today. I don't know what's going on. Um, so yeah, you want to make sure that it is not stuck in your body, because if something is giving you that, it's especially if it's in a repeat pattern. Let's say if you go on a first date with somebody, another person, first date with another person, sometimes it might need a little bit of a work, because as you are back into the dating scene after 20 years, 30 years, how many ever you were, out of market, now you're in the market. You have to feel it. You have to feel it, that if the same thing is triggering you, that means there is something in you that you want to change, right? So you have to feel how you're feeling. It is in your subconscious mind that is making you very, edgy, or like simple things. If you're not agreeing, that is probably reminding you how the conversation between you and your prior, your prior spouse, how you guys had this little thing became a big thing. It was a big fight, whatever that is, right? So it could be something like that. So you have to identify that. So when you identify that, and then you're like, okay, next thing is how to change that, right? So the first part is identifying it, and you can identify many different ways: by journaling about it, by talking to your counselor about it. You can come here to get my coaching. I'm not a therapist. Therapist helps you to focus on the past, how to heal. My belief is that, not negating any therapist, therapist kind of helps you to heal a little bit, but my perspective is that when you keep talking about those things, you just stay in there. You want to talk about how you want to redesign your life, how you want to reinvent your life so that you have a better future. It's all about future, right? So it's like, I not only help you to heal, but I also help you to reinvent your life so that you live the best life on your second half of your life. That's the goal. That's what I teach. So you start thinking about that, because this is a really, really, really important topic. Like, I have 30 different episodes for 30 days, but this is one of the, like, I know if I were to say top five, this is one of the top five. Because things that are on your subconscious level, you won't even realize that. So that's why you have to have a deeper thought around it. Like, why is it happening? Especially if it's a pattern, especially if the same pattern is repeating, you have to have a deeper thought around it. Like, okay, so what do I need to do? And sometimes you might be able to do it yourself, and sometimes you might need help. Through that, you start speaking to yourself that, you know peaceful relationship is good. Because what happens is, like, when you are attracted to somebody, and then you are like, you're having this strong connection, and you're like, oh, this person has this thing's good. It's like all my non-negotiables are matching. However, I feel this way. I don't know what to do about that, right? So then you want to make sure that you are going with the person in a way, because whoever you're getting, you have to go with just that. You can't think that, oh, I will go with this person and then I'm gonna change that person. Guess what? If you were divorced, or you lost your marriage, you had a breakup from a long relationship, that doesn't work. You have to go with how the person is. If something changes based on how you wanted the relationship to go, that's a bonus. But you cannot expect even one thing to change, because that is a recipe for disaster. Trust me, that is a recipe for disaster. If you have been through that, you know what I'm talking about. People don't change, especially after 40, people don't change. So now there are things that each of you will do when you're in a relationship. You will want to do because you love the person, but you cannot count on it that, oh, especially the big things that are relied on values, right? When relationship is good, peacefulness feels good, right? So you want to, when you are talking to the person, you're spending quality time, and if something, some discussion, there could be politics, religion, I don't know, some heavy topic, when you're talking about it, as you're navigating the discussion and your body is not reacting, that's when you're in a peaceful zone, right? So you can create some affirmation, you can talk to your friends. Simple thing I say is, you don't even have to create an affirmation. Talk to your friends, family, coworkers. If you're the coworkers, if you have somebody who became like a friend, you can talk to them like, these are the things that are really important to me, the person to, spending quality time. And that's when, like, you will reveal your love language as you take the test. You will know what there are five. One is quality time, physical intimacy. Then there is words of affirmation, acts of service, and gift giving. So there's 5 things. I can repeat it for you guys again. Quality time, physical intimacy, words of affirmation, gift giving was the last one. And then what was this? Acts of service. Okay, so for a person where acts of service is important, for them, when you do things for them, I mean, who doesn't like that? But for some people, that is like really, really important thing. And how John Gottman would say is that is like you are putting like it's like emotional bank account. So meaning if you are doing something for them, I don't know, less laundry or dishes or whatnot, then they are feeling love that way. So whatever the top 2 is out of 5 is most important. That's how they feel loved. Now, in your case, you might feel loved with quality time. And that's why I say that it's very important to take the love language test, not on the first day, but after a few dates, after a month or so, you're thinking that you're connecting. Because what you want to do is that at least out of the top 2 that both of you guys will come up with after the test, at least one has to match. At least one has to match. Because otherwise the relationship could be heading towards a disaster, trust me. Because if love language are not matching, if they're inverted especially, it's gonna be a difficult thing to ride in the future. So that's very, very important. One of the most important things. So you start speaking about that, like, what you are looking for to yourself and to your friends. Because the other ones I usually talk to your friends, family, coworker. But this one, you have to speak to yourself too, because your body is the subconscious mind also needs to change because you have some trauma or something stuck in your body. And that's what is causing that tense emotion that you are getting on the edge from that talk. I'll talk about like politics. If you are from 2 different side, because in the US right now it's a little over the top, 2 different parties. If you want to get to a point where none of this bothers you, because I'm at that state right now, because I worked on myself to a point that that was intense, but not everybody wants to work on themselves that much. Then you have to kind of make sure that those things are not bothering you to the point that both as a couple, those things are not bothering you. Your body is not feeling that intense motion. That's when you know that, like, you are working towards it. And as you speak about that, had action. Actually, I wrote it down because it was very, very important. So when it comes to action, I'll tell you guys. Yeah, because this is important, because that's how you will know. So somebody in your life, either it could be your friend, again, friend, coworker, whoever, spend time with that person who is very calm and quiet, not necessarily quiet, but kind, grounded, down to earth, that type of people. I bet you have at least 1 or 2 people in your life who you consider those, like it could be your family or friend. Spend time with them, see how your body is reacting, right? I mean, at the end of the day, see how you are feeling. You yourself will feel a little bit calmer, and from there, then start to journal. Like where do you, like, after that, when you start thinking about the person, like not that person, but the person you are dating or who kind of gave you that feeling, that tense body, that emotion, maybe like 3 weeks ago when you went out on a date, like start from your mind, start thinking like what is causing you to that chaos in your mind, because when you spend, because contrast, and the reason is there's a specific way I designed so that there is a rule that when the contrast helps us to feel the difference in a big way. So I'm going to give you guys another example. So okay, let's take this. I'm looking for different color. Okay, so let's use this yellow color. If I talk to you about all just yellow, you may or may not remember it. So I'm looking for something here. My daughter's playing plate. So I'm going to bring this together. Now you're seeing one thing as blue, one thing as yellow, right? The colors are kind of contrasting. It helps you to kind of notice the difference more. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So this could be the person when you met and there was this tense situation in your body. You did tried your best not to show it. More than likely the person felt or the saw, because it's hard to hide the emotion that because you are radiating those energies. Trust me. So that could be the person, and this could be the calm and quiet person you just met, right? So after you meet this person, it'll be easier for you to see what was confusing you, for what was chaos, like what was causing the tense. I don't know, maybe this design here, I'm just taking a random example, but you get my point. The contrast will help you to understand when you journal about it after you spend a day with this person. It doesn't even have to be a whole day. You just go for a 2-3 hour lunch or dinner, whatever. They're your friend, family. It will help you to understand that that is the chaos that you don't want to pick next time, and this is the calm type of a person you want to pick. And maybe that is the type of person you want to pick, but something you need to work on yourself, because that is what is so important. Like, think of this, otherwise your life would be like, think of, I don't know, a snow globe. I'm bringing up a lot of different examples on this one because this is, like I said, this is one of the top 5 guys. Because, and when I say guys, I mean guys and girls. I know that some girls also watch this channel, because I don't know everybody who watches this, but folks who come here often, I know from the statistics, analytics. Anyway, and I'm so glad you guys come. I'm grateful, very, very grateful. Please do share it with your friends too, because everybody who is divorced, they have friends who are divorced or, going through challenges. I know folks, I mean, I have to know because some of my clients are there and my friends. Anyway, share it. Everybody, all of us have the power to change someone's life. Please do it, because this is my hope, to make this as a movement so that we can help so many people out there. There's so much pain and suffering in this world, and this way we can help to reduce some pain and leave this world a little bit better than we found it. Really, please do it. Please share it with others. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable sharing this channel, you can just share the things that you learned. That is okay too, because I would feel happy knowing that there is more ripple effect of this. Okay, so this example, think of a snow globe. You guys all know snow globes. Snow globes has those things, right? Inside, are they foam? I don't know. Maybe they're foam. So when you put them upside down and the foam goes everywhere, the water, I don't know if it's water or foam, whatever that is, you know what I'm talking about. And you can't really see clearly. You want to see it, you can't see clearly, but then you lift the snow globe for a little bit. The things calm down and it's clear. And if inside there is a little house, or I don't know, like Santa Claus or Christmas tree, you can see it clear. That's what I'm talking about, calm. So your body needs to feel that calmness when you're with the right person. And that is what I'm talking about, that you have to train your mind, your body. If you have trauma, if you had tough experiences, and sometimes trauma is a real trauma, and sometimes we think just some experience that was hard is trauma. And that goes with the limiting belief that I'll cover another day. If you have interest about how to break limiting belief, let me know in the comments and I'll cover it with you. And it is so important, to pick the right person next time. And I don't want you guys to be paranoid, but it is important that you take the time, know the people you're dating, and go from the point of view that, your life is limited. You want to spend the time with the people who really matter, right? If you are one of those people that you give into the relationship, you give so much, and because a relationship is a give and take. It's not just give. And so it is important that how you feel, how they are treating you, and all of that. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish it. And tomorrow I'm going to cover this, rebuild trust in yourself. That is also important. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.